Guys, welcome back. As you guys know, recently there were a couple of videos in YouTube magical world about influencers. And guys, sometimes you gotta have to chime in a little bit on this situation with this, because it's a very important subject. You cannot leave it alone, guys. Sometimes people need to be put in place, because otherwise they tend to lose their place and start to make a lot of videos, guys, about influencers and stuff like that. Most of them are comedic type of genre, not dramatic, but with comedy nowadays, it's more of a drama than comedy in the world. It's a sad place sometimes, guys. And the older you get, you realize that influencers are very important people. It's like living in a cult, kind of. So let's discuss it for a little bit. Recently, as you know, guys, John from Flipping Ain't Easy with Jenna, and John and Jenna are great people, guys, and they speak the truth about life, about everything, and I respect them. And John made a video recently, guys, about influencers like me. It was tough. It was tough for me to comprehend, knowing that I don't influence anyone. But sometimes John pointed out things like in life, that you can say to a lot of people out there in the wild, in the world, watching YouTube on laptops, computers, tablets, phones, movie theaters, like regular theaters and stuff everywhere, wherever you go, that influencers tend to tell people, we succeed doing that or doing that in business that we run, specifically for a specific person. And this country, guys, is built on like kindness. That's the only country, in my opinion, great state, United States of America, is built on a lot of trust. Still, a lot of trust still, which is kind of unusual from recent happenings in politics. And people tend to watch a lot of TV. With YouTube nowadays, like social media, Instagram, Facebook, Reels. And John pointed out that one of the most famous people from Uzbekistan originally, Kevin, Kevin Brown. Guys, I've known Kevin for a long time. We used to go to same school in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and Kevin immigrated a long time ago, guys. He understood the reason of moving to the United States compared to me, where my parents moved later. So props to Kevin, that he understood all the capacity of importance to move earlier and live in Virginia, guys, great state of Virginia, which is a very historical state compared to Ohio, guys. So he made a video about Kevin influencing people. Not just Kevin, guys. I influence people sometimes. Animals. Like yesterday, I was in the forest walking and I was talking to one of the deer and explained, that you need to use list easier or easier lister. I forget the exact name, guys. I apologize. There's a lot of drugs in my system. It's tough, guys. It's also, influencers with drugs. I will not tell the names, about those influencers. Doctors. But the thing about it, guys, is that I was telling deer about this whole situation with reselling nowadays and politics, and the deer was like, looking. I don't think he was looking at me. I tried to influence him, then he just walked away. He didn't want to get influenced. So later on in the day, guys, I tried to go influence a lot of different creatures. It's kind of my responsibility in life. God put me on earth to go speak to animals, and I understand their language, which is great for me. Not a lot of content creators knows this, but that's secret. So, and dogs and cats, you know, try to hug them all the time and kiss them, and they kind of don't want to do that. You know, they don't understand my kindness and support. But John brought out great points, guys. You know, usually, you know, I kind of always, sorry guys, hot today. It's actually great weather in Cleveland, 72 degrees. John pointed out a lot of things, you know, how you can make money from spending $1, making $1.50, you know, or $1.01, which is great still. You're not gonna lose money, guys. If you're spending $1 and getting $1.01 profit, you're still making 1 cent, you know. So it's it's very important, guys, to realize what kind of business you're in. But listen, a lot of people, which I kind of pointed out, influencers, you know, is that they just, I always said it on the lives and everywhere, that YouTube is entertainment type of business and also educational at certain points of time, you know. But people here tend to try to listen to a lot of people without learning themselves, you know. And I'm the person who always tried to learn stuff by myself without listening, which is not a good thing. I would not recommend that, guys, you know. But I'm from another country, guys. It was like that there. And even though I was very young when I moved, I was only 13, still, you know, my friends all learned on their own. They didn't like try to listen to someone else telling them what to do or teach them things. They just learned, like they had like street type of mentality where they would learn things on their own, how to survive. And that was a lot of kids growing up back in Soviet Union, guys, under very, very tough conditions. And thankfully, this country currently doesn't have that kind of thing, even though it depends on where you live and which neighborhood. So what I wanted to point out, guys, in my video here today is that, you know, I do watch a lot of content. I don't comment a lot, but it's interesting to see the comments sometimes of how people battle it out in the comments. Just funny for me personally. And this country actually is very kind of interesting point that I want to bring up. You see people come to lives, right? Like John and Jenna do their lives Monday and Friday a lot, and there's like around 200 people. But look, notice how many people are actually interacting in the chat. Like only like maybe 40. It depends, like it fluctuates. And it's on with all lives. You have like a lot of lurkers, right? And lurkers are usually they will not participate at all. They will just listen to what person is saying. They're like silent warriors, you know. And they will make their own decision on their own. They don't like to be, you know, kind of sharing much and expressing their opinions. Sometimes, rarely, one of them will come out from the hiding and say something. But that's how life goes nowadays, guys. So let me drive somewhere and I will continue with this video. Alright, guys, so my own opinion about influencers and people who like to teach other people, teachers, professors, is that you can influence people here in this country a lot, actually, guys, that wanna, you know, learn things, wanna just accomplish things with watching certain videos about things. And as you guys know from your experience, a lot of people don't watch my channel much because there is no point. Even I don't watch my channel, guys. So if you don't watch my channel, it's actually a normal type of situation, guys. But as you know, a lot of people share their experiences about things, not just reselling, but share their knowledge, and for free, you know. A lot of people would have charged, you know, members and they do for certain podcasts, certain videos, and that's their business, guys. As I said before, they want to charge people money for being members, that's fine, because you know how that works. you have your own memberships on the channel that you created, and also you paying your friends, content creators, for their membership, whatever it is. So in return, they may pay your membership if they have money. Because it's always an issue, guys. You know, people don't realize influencers can tell you to do things. Go buy stuff at garage sales, buy liquidations, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I'll touch up on liquidations, or buy storage units, or buy whatever to resell. And people, you know, tend to try it without, you know, I would say it depends on the situation. A lot of people have different situations. You know, they will listen, they will chime in on lives when John and Jenna do their lives. Same people, pretty much. If you guys follow their channel and go to their lives, they pretty much have same people in the chat. There's someone new sometimes that appears that talks in the chat, but it's not like all the time. And also on their podcast, you know, Profit Playbook podcast, which is very important, Josh Galt. And, you know, John had brought out great points, guys, in his video. I watched Kevin's video too about his response. Guys, as you know, John, if you one more time talk about Kevin, man, you know, I will fly to Las Vegas and talk to you directly. You know, me and Pancho and Volan did not like that situation. Even No Name was like meowing, watching your video, man, in the background, in one of the rooms. You know, when Kevin put him somewhere to watch the video on small cat TV. But, you know, John, look at Kevin, man, and look at yourself. Come on. Kevin is like, what? I'm gonna take on John. You know, I'm a former baseball coach. You know, I can hold a bat in my hand. Anyway, but, you know, they both brought up good points, you know, about things. And if you watch Kevin's videos, even though Kevin, they're very long, man. You know, once again, like mine, do not make videos, your videos like my videos, like 2 hour long, man. And my lives that are 5 hours. Shorten it up, man. But you know, we talked about sizes, guys. It's even said in my video, guys, before that I put out a lot of shorts. They're short size shorts are not good, guys. I mean, the longer better, guys. You have to understand there's the influencing right here to create longer content videos, guys. Size matters even in videos, guys. You know, you don't realize it much, but both brought up good points. And Josh Galt, by the way, you know, we'll touch up a little bit. Josh Galt, I didn't want to bring him in this mess. Bearded Picker Scott, you know, is an influencer. That's why he has like 25 people in his life constantly. You know, who else has 25 people? Show me another content creator that can bring 25 people into his life. You know, there's no one. I tried one time, but streamer told me you didn't pay your monthly fees again. Which is normal, guys. I'm a person, guys, I forget to pay like bills, and I forget to pay monthly fees for something. It's normal, because I have so many things on my mind, guys, by myself, doing everything, that I'm like constantly forgetting things, which is, in my case, see, that's why we're all different. That's why people watching content are different. And people who run their own reselling business are completely different from each other. And I applaud people who do everything on their own. Because try it, guys. Try to do so many things, accomplish by yourself, compared to if you have like a spouse helping you or your children helping you. It's a little bit different when you run everything on your own. And then I have to take care of my mom now. Take care of my mom, which is normal also. You have to take care of your parents, because when they get sick and old, you have to take them to doctor's appointments. You have to take, after surgery, take care of them, go to their place, stay with them. And we all have to go through this, all of us. We will go through this. Eventually, we'll be the same way. Our children, hopefully, will take care of us, you know, who knows. And like I said, that's Why everyone sees, that's why influencers, which is very important, guys, to realize, is that they don't mean anything bad. And Kevin even in his video says, I do it my way. I recently on my live set, I compared Kevin to kind of a little bit to Chad, Wolfman's Goodies, in a way where Chad, right now, with his mentality and his kindness, can, if he had like set up like Kevin in a cabin with like different things on top, on the, everywhere toys and Mr. Rogers like situation, American public loves it. People love this kindness. They love this because it brings them back to their childhood sometimes. You look at Mr. Rogers, people growing up before my generation. I look at like, oh, this is such a kind dude, comes over all the time in a red suit, saying, how you doing, guys? What's going on today? With his smile on his face. And you don't see that nowadays. The new generation will not come out in a red suit, guys, and do that. Maybe they will eventually. Who knows how it will turn out. But the most important part is people like to influencers. That's what creates money for content creators. Also, John and Kevin touched up on it sometimes. And actually, Kevin does a lot. And John did that there is a wrong way and right way of doing things. And they are not YouTube owners. If they owned YouTube, maybe I would be making some money. Right, Kevin? See, guys, if Kevin owned YouTube, he was put me on the first place. Like, just pay Roman, $2,000, $3,000 a month. So for his unusual shorts, he would, do that for me most likely. Even though he doesn't like me much. But Kevin, you're gonna have to help poor people, man. I don't know how you feel about this kind of situation, man. But sometimes you have to, man. I know you're kind dude. Kevin is like, no, don't talk about me right now. I'm gonna make another video. I'm gonna be mad right now. Pancho, Wallen, come here. Look at this. But anyway, John and Jen always are there to answer your questions. If people wanna, certain questions answered about business, because both of them worked really hard in their life, and all of us did, guys. I worked in a lot of different jobs with a lot of stress. But look at me now, see what it made me. And Kevin was a teacher, guys. Josh Galt, was a corporate manager back in the day, guys. Had like 10,000 employees. Bearded Picker Scott, look at him bringing 25 people. Dave Harrington was a former, corporate owner. So we kind of all, and Todd actually, Silver Hair Stagger, look at his experience. Tom, Queen City Picker, experience, guys. They already lived their life where they learned by themselves how to run a business, even though they had different jobs before. They were not resellers from when they were born, so they learned, and they're different generations. You see that, you see the influencers come over, like older, and I respect a lot of older generation especially, because they've already learned a lot of things about life compared to kids like me who think they're very old, but they're not like really old. In my case, only 10. But you have to respect your elders, guys. Very important for any place. Show respect to your elders, because they lived longer than you, they've seen more than you, they have more experience than you with everything in life. It was all Todd was like telling me, he doesn't like me either. Not a lot of people like me, guys. It's like, John, even Josh Galt, like, hates me. He's like, I hate Roman, and he speaks in Canadian with Canadian accent. I thought he was actually originally he was from Soviet Union, like, because Josh kind of looks like one of those Russian-looking dudes in a way. Sorry, Josh, I know you don't like that, but you do look like one. So I thought you maybe immigrated from somewhere originally to Canada, surprisingly. But it happens again. I'm sorry, Josh, that you're in Canada. I know you want to move to Ohio, man. I'll go talk to the governor, Mike DeWine, maybe. We'll try to get you into here again. But you need to learn the Constitution, Josh. I know that you like to talk about, walking in the forest, meeting people, talking, trying to teach everyone, the stuff that you know. And Josh actually is a smart dude, guys. Look at him, have public speaking. Guys, public speaking is a very important tool to have. You may not know anything, But when you can do public speaking, it's very important, guys. See, that's the thing. Even like people, homeless people, can do public speaking, guys. I've seen it before, and people would gather and listen, and say, "Oh, hallelujah," you know. That's a skill to have, guys. That's why you look at politics. People spoke out like back in the day in former Soviet Union, when Lenin, if you guys remember, Soviet Revolution back in 1917, how he brought up so many people, who listened to him, influencers. He said, eventually we're gonna destroy all the rich people, and we'll take all their money. You see, and people who had never had any money, they listened. They were tired of this crap. Not having any money, god damn it. But anyway, but let me tell you something, guys, is that both of the great people in the community, guys, look at Mike Metko, setting up all types of meetups, and he doesn't have to do it, but he does it, he's a kind guy. He's not, like me, when I just talk about different things that, about that influencers do wrong. But they bring up good points, guys. You run your business the way you want to run it. People try to build YouTube channel, the way they want to. It's their business. Nobody's gonna advise you. You have to do it on your own. You have your own brain. You try things, and it's good that YouTube allows you. Even though they blocked one of my videos, like they put it unlimited because I was cursing, and they put it was a short. Where I was really upset about eBay's, situations there. I forgot what it was about, as usual. But they put it on unlimited. They said you were cursing a lot. Guys, I wanted to tell YouTube, I have to express my feelings. Why cannot express a free counter? You have to express your feelings, god damn it. Don't let me express my feelings again. And I feel mad. But, that's how it is, guys. It's a loosey-goosey situation. And that's why one content creator creates a video about someone else, then another content creator creates a video about someone else, about that guy or that guy, he said something wrong. But in the end of the day, they're still making money on YouTube. Somewhere, somewhat, And it's your choice. You see, that's your choice, how you run your business. You can do a bunch of lives a day. Like, look at Todd. He does 3 times. By the way, subscribe to everyone, guys. Silver Hair Stacker, Bearded Picker, Flipping in Easy, Josh Galt. Josh Galt is like one of my favorite channels, guys. Like, I would put him right now, for me personally, #1. Sorry, everyone else, but Josh Galt, you cannot go wrong with listening to Josh. I actually am planning to do a video where I will criticize his lives a little bit. Sorry, Josh, you're a public speaker, man. I have to criticize you a little bit. You can do the same on me, man. I know that some it's a waste of time, to give me any type of shout outs. Nobody's gonna subscribe anyway. But at least you're gonna, remind people, like, go see, like, Roman talks about Josh Galt, whoever that is. And John and Jenna Flipping in Easy, and Queen City Picker, Dave Harrington, very important personalities, guys. Jakester from Lancaster, PA, very important business person who runs a lot of different businesses. Very young generation, actually, younger than me, guys. Already accomplished so much. And we got a lot of people in the community, guys. Look at Wallen and Pancho, they accomplished so much already. Living with Kevin, we already know all about reselling, so eventually they'll help Jess, package things and take stuff, packages back and forth when Kevin leaves on vacation. No name will be helping. So, you gotta take my kids so far, I'm trying to teach it, but I don't know, maybe I'm not a good influencer, guys. I'm not in that position to do that. But I respect the people who do influence other people, from podcasts, from lives. You can look at so many different content creators out there. Smaller channels, bigger channels, channels that nobody knows about, like mine, which is great. That's a silent killer channel. Nobody knows about this channel. But you can make videos about something that nobody gonna watch. See, that's very important part of YouTube content influencing creation. But whenever you have different business, liquidation is a good business that John touched up upon. I did liquidation too. I tried everything, guys. Believe me, I've been reselling for so many years, since 2000. Let me just to make sure I'm not lying. But originally started with my friend who passed away very early in his life, and he had very good vision of doing things not just on eBay, but we did a lot of flea markets with him. We went to flea markets. That's how I started. We did like in late 90s when I graduated from school. We did flea markets. We went and sold computer parts, different types of computer parts, non-working, working. We would book flea markets in different cities all over the United States, except West Coast. We didn't go. Like we went to Denver a couple times, but we would do those types of flea markets and drive to different states every weekend for sometimes 3 days, 4 days. It would make cash money, selling everything for cash back in the day because people didn't pay much with credit cards, and sometimes they would pay with checks, and we use those old school phones to call in to make sure the check clears. So anyway, guys, so I would say do what's best for you in your business. You don't have to. The entertainment industry of YouTube doesn't, specifically guarantee anyone any success. You can listen, you can see what they are selling, what type of balls they show you, and maybe, nowadays it's more even difficult. Like there are so many entrepreneurs, business people who try to run their own business without any degree, which is what makes it a great thing in this country, that you can learn your craft without any listening to anyone, just trying things. Eventually, if you do things right, you will be successful, hopefully. And it's also rare, it's difficult, guys, especially when you run your own operation on your own. It's not that easy of a task, because you kind of trying everything. Eventually you understand that you're running out of fumes to do so many things at the same time, to accomplish of making certain amount of money per month. Because I am tearing myself apart. I am like right now to the point where I have health issues that, sometimes it's just, you think you can accomplish so many things, but I don't realize that when you get older, you don't have like as much of energy as you had like before. So that's kind of a mistake that I was making myself. And instead of improving it to like Easy Lister we talked about, where you can list more things using artificial intelligence, Josh Galt and James Helfestray. But it's a better business opportunities, guys, believe me. But I'm old school. I like to do things old way, and that's what's killing me personally. But that's my own business, and that's how it is gonna be, most likely forever. Anyway, so I would say subscribe to those people: Commonwealth Speaker, Flipper, Garage Sale Nation, Punch and Wallen Adventures. Subscribe, please, guys. And Flipping in Easy, Josh Gal, Bearded Picker, Silverhair Stacker, some kind of unknown channel like mine with no names that I change every time. By the way, Jared Flips, Jake actually is a very good influencer. He can influence people, younger generation, by the way, who are in their maybe teens to 20s. Jake knows what's up. 1 Foot Flipper. Yes, I talked about Paige. He's a smart dude. Paige knows. Look at his YouTube videos, how he implements some things. It's interesting. Yeah, there are a lot of interesting channels, guys, that I watch. Gramson's Pops Vintage is one of my favorites. It's a top 3 right now for me. So anyway, guys, I'm talking too much. So I would say, John, please, man, stop talking about Kevin, man. He has enough already. People talking about him. I don't understand why people love like to talk about Kevin. Even me, like sometimes. Kevin has some kind of aura of people talking about him, and Kevin is everywhere, listening. He has spies all over the place. I don't know, guys. It's kind of weird, Even about talking about Punch and Wallen and No Name and Boots, and it's kind of interesting situation, guys. Different but interesting. But there are a lot of good people with a lot of knowledge who are not on YouTube, which is I actually advise that you can ask questions. Who have a lot of knowledge, have no social media, and don't go on YouTube to promote their channels like me. To try to make 1 cent a year. God damn it. But I appreciate everyone who actually supports our lives. You know, we got great personalities like Woody, reselling with Woody, down to earth guy, with Barbara. You know, they are full of knowledge. Been doing it for many years. Anthony, very important person, guys. Been around for many years. Originally known as Dragon Masters finds, and I've seen his dragons sometimes when I don't smoke. I don't see the dragons, but when I do, I see some of them have Anthony's name on them. So you know, now he has dirty scumbag reseller, which is normal nowadays, Anthony. So don't be afraid of that. I'm a dirty scumbag reseller. We all are. We are dirty scumbag resellers. Lisa, you know, been with the life for many years. Very nice woman, much younger generation. And there are many personalities. You know, I'm compared to everyone on the lives that I'm doing. I'm very old. Like I'm like right now close to 50 years old, and still cannot influence anyone. You know, like I have to go. You know, back to influencing school, guys. You know, and talk about how. But to finish this video, I will say influencers are there, guys. They will keep making videos, keep making content. It brings them money also. Don't forget that. You're watching their lives, and it's great. That's how business is supposed to be. You watch their content, you comment, you battle in the comments. Because influencer's job is to properly put in a thumbnail, properly word the title, properly bring the audience in to like what you're trying to accomplish. People don't like it, they will battle it out, disagreeing. That's what it's all about. Don't be like, you know, afraid to do that kind of thing, and try. Maybe your YouTube channel will succeed if you try it this way. If you're gonna try to educate people, influence people, maybe you will be successful in it. So good thing, we're gonna continue with more videos about this topic, guys. I wanted to touch up on that a little bit. And John, great video. Kevin response was very good. You know, Kevin was a teacher for many years, so he can respond to students with their comments sometimes. Teacher's ability to do that. John, of course, with his knowledge, with Jenna, you know, and all the people who are in their live commenting, chatting, great people, guys. You know, people don't like me much because I'm very vulgar, but that's my personality, guys. I cannot be any other way. Because sometimes you don't know my life. How if you live, like I said before, with me and see what I'm going through, at times you'll understand. So, without further ado, like John and Jenna says, good luck to you with your endeavors, guys, and keep watching the influencers. They got good points sometimes on different business ventures that you can learn, agree, or disagree. That's your God-given right. Take care, guys. Have a great day.